guys, thank you so much for tuning in and clicking on this video. It's the latest on trend with your girl Biami.
Big up yourself.
Update on the whole Michael Costello situation. Guys, it looks like things have taken a really weird and bad turn for him. I spoke about it yesterday. You guys go ahead and watch that video if you don't know the full story on that. But Leona Lewis has spoken out, and it looks like things have kind of backfired for him. Now, I'm going to give you guys both sides of the story because he has responded to what Leona Lewis posted. So I'm going to share with you guys all of the screenshots. There's a lot that's been said. So brace yourself. Make sure that you're comfortable because we're going to be doing a lot of reading. Just a quick backstory. I know I said go and watch the video, but just going to brief you in. Chrissy went ahead and posted an apology after a bunch of old tweets resurfaced. Off of that, Michael Costello, who is a very famous designer, posted his experience that he had from an allegation that was made against him, which was proven to be false, about him being racist. With that whole thing, I mean, I did speak about it, but with the whole thing, it was kind of like the tweets that resurfaced about Chrissy had nothing to do with him. He decided to jump on board and share his experience with Chrissy. She started talking about cyberbullying. So maybe he kind of felt triggered, or maybe he kind of felt like, you want to talk about cyberbullying? How about we talk about what you did to me and what you put me through? So nonetheless, he did that. It looks like it's backfired because Leona Lewis comes out and she's like, well, hold on a minute. I don't usually like to talk, but let's talk about this. Let's look at the facts. She says, I don't usually speak on subjects like this. And I believe her because Leona, she seems very meek. However, she does have a roaring spirit. Like, I feel like she gives me lioness vibes. So she says, honestly, I feel that I have to say something as I've dealt with years of insecurity from it. I don't condone any kind of bully behaviour, and I'm sorry for what Michael Costello went through. I want to share my experience in 2014. I was asked to take part in a fashion show to raise money for charity. Michael Costello was assigned to my designer. As an excited young woman, I flew all the way to New York and was so honoured to work with him because I adored his dresses. When I got to my fitting, I was made to feel very awkward and uncomfortable as the dress was a sample size and his team clearly did not want to alter it to fit me. This came as a total surprise because weeks prior I was told that they would make the dress for me. This came as a total surprise, and she says at the next fitting, the night before the show, with no explanation at all, Michael refused to turn up. He no longer wanted to dress me and he abandoned his commitments to me and the show, which made me well aware that I wasn't the body type required. I was so embarrassed and deeply hurt because I didn't look like a model size. I was not permitted to walk in his dress. I had to sit in the audience and was asked by press why I didn't walk in the show. I remember having to come up with an excuse as I was so humiliated by it all. I feel like I was made to look as though I pulled out and was being difficult, and as an effect of those actions I suffered a lot, both personally and professionally. The most hurtful thing is that it was to raise money for charity, and this went against everything we were trying to do. I was left with deep insecurities after this, and I've had to work hard over the years to love my body. I'm so proud of how curves are celebrated today, but back then it was a different story, and there was hardly any representation for women who were not a standard small size. I know that his designs are catered to women of all sizes now, and I'm glad he saw the light over the years. We all make mistakes. I know I have, but at this time I feel that when people apologize, brackets Chrissy, and show sincere remorse and rehabilitation for their actions, we should embrace them and not try to kick them when they are down. I'm not discounting Michael's experience, as that is an awful thing to go through, and I wish him so much love and healing. I'm sure this will come as a shock, as I never told him how this made me feel, but the pot calling the kettle black in his situation doesn't sit right with me. Bullying comes in many different forms. We need love, we need accountability, we need forgiveness, and none of us are perfect. We are trying our best and learning. I'm sorry for anyone who has gone through any kind of bullying. I am also sorry if I've ever hurt anyone without knowing it, as I'm sure was the case with Michael. So, what did you guys think of that? That was a lot. This happened back in 2014, an experience that she went through, which she never really spoke about, which I kind of understand. I believe this was when she was new and she was upcoming, she was known. So, being in the midst of high profile people, maybe she didn't really know how to handle the situation, or she was kind of building, she was building that fierceness and the backbone that you might need to have in the industry. So she was just getting her feet in. So I can understand why she wouldn't have, spoken out about it. You've been invited, you're having this amazing designer design your clothes, you're going through this experience. Personally, I don't think I can sit here and be like, I would have just spoken out and I just would have addressed it. Like, no. When you're in an environment, you learn as you go along, and then you will look back and you'll be like, rah, that's the way that I was actually treated, Anyone else who has been in the industry wouldn't have taken it. However, this was her experience. She's sharing what her experience was at the time. Now, the whole Chrissy situation and holding someone accountable, she didn't really look like she was holding Chrissy accountable in this statement. Chrissy made an apology, but even with her apology, it's kind of like it's like with Chrissy, it's like she would do things and then she'll apologize, but then she'll do similar things and she'll apologize. And then it's kind of like, well, who is holding Chrissy accountable?
Hi guys, I know you didn't expect to see me in the middle of this video. This is just a quick break from the video. Have you subscribed to the channel? If you haven't, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you are new. It's all good vibes and notification gang. Thank you so much for all of your support. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Let's quickly have a look at Michael's response, because this was actually very interesting. This made me analyze Leona's situation a little bit different. I like to be fair. This is going to be quite lengthy, guys. I don't know if I'm going to read all of it, but it was quite interesting. So he first of all posts this video.
So what does it say? So sassy in my Michael Costello dress. Am I tagged in it?
You are tagged right here.
Oh, does it go to my page?
I'm sure.
Oh.
That was him looking at this picture that Leona Lewis had posted in his dress. So this is the dress in question. So then he posts this video. This whole thing to me seemed a bit shady. This gave me, I am hurt and I'm gonna clap back. Tit for tat. It's like, oh, you're coming for me? Okay, well, let's come for you. Like, it gave me very sarky vibes. So he's looking at this video and he's like, oh, looking very sassy in my Costello dress, which is the dress that he made for her. And obviously Leona had made this post and this comment. So he's like, well, am I tagged in it? He's like, oh, like, it's very sarky, but he's trying to prove a point. He then says, he at Leona, he says, at Leona Lewis, no diss, no shade, no hate. And when somebody starts with no diss, no shade, no hate, that it's a shade in there. It's a diss in there somewhere. And there might be a type of, I wouldn't say hate, but hurt. He says, I love you and your music. I still follow you, but not sure what happened. I reached out to you personally, and I have 7 emails from the last 4 years and these past 9 weeks from your team and stylist still requesting looks. Last email, 17th of May. He says, Leona, I'm still a fan and I'm not coming for you. But let's talk about what you were feeling about this dress. I thought you were happy. Firstly, why would she take a picture with that facial expression? That just ruined the look. And then he posted this, which was basically a request for American Idol, asking him to basically get on board for dressing Leona. So that was the email that he posted. This is one of his receipts. And he says, if I made you feel bad in 2014, but you still wore my dresses and request them. Can we try and figure out what got lost in translation with the dress that you wore? You look so beautiful in it.
So sassy in my Michael Costello dress. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I'm trying to figure out what happened. I'm still trying to figure it out. Everybody wants to come at me and complain at me and say a whole bunch of things about me. Go ahead.
He said, "Hello, it's Michael. I reached out to you directly in an Instagram DM after seeing your Instagram stories, but I have yet to hear from you. Given that you have publicly shared your experience with me on Instagram without coming to me privately first, I have no choice but to respond to you here as I try reaching out to you privately without much luck. I was really surprised to hear about your traumatic experience with me from the Go Red Women charity event in 2014. I flew to New York just to fit you, and we had a wonderful time at the fitting. I fangirled over you and told you how much I loved your songs. You are one of the most talented and beautiful women I know. We took photos and I left options of dresses for you with the charity. You told me you absolutely loved the dresses, so much so that even after the event in 2014, you continued to wear and post me on your own in 2015. Your team has continuously reached out to me to pull custom looks for you, which I was happy to create. The most recent request I received was from May 17. Afterwards, you even invited me personally to fit you in LA. I remember having a brief conversation complimenting your own horses and your beautiful home. I don't take accusations of body shaming lightly, as I have built a career as celebrating diverse women of all shapes and sizes. But if I did unintentionally hurt you and you continue to support me, I want to apologize to you directly. This caught me by surprise. I'm completely blindsided, as you have always looked fabulous in my gowns and I thought you truly loved them." Did you guys see the shade? Please forgive me if your Instagram stories caught me by surprise. You have never indicated to me how you felt, and you've continuously warned me, tagged me, and had your team reach out requesting for more dresses as recent as last month. Ooh. I have lost tons of opportunities, sleepless nights, and I'm not in a good mental state of mind. I wish you spoke to me directly instead of Instagram, especially when I am at my most vulnerable moment. After years of trauma and getting blacklisted with receipts shown to me by my friends and allies, I have been suicidal and often feel no purpose to life. I pray your intentions are pure and that you're not acting recklessly in an attempt to smear me and all the dresses I created for you to save a friend. If you were in my position, I'm sure you would equally be as shocked. Someone who has continuously reached out to you, asked for more dresses, someone who has supported you, warned you, tagged you, all of a sudden comes out and say that you hurt them 7 years ago. If I've hurt you in 2014 and for whatever reason you've continued to wear me and support me, please, I want to apologize to you. All of this is very shocking for me to hear because you've continued to wear me, tag me, and ask me for another dress even last month. I mean, I think he said that about 10 times, but we get the gist. He says, "Whenever you're ready, I'm here. Let's have a heart-to-heart conversation at Leona Lewis." So it looks like he's not in a very good place, and I get it. What Leona said about Chrissy being kicked down when she's at the bottom is exactly what's happening to him. In all fairness and in all honesty, this happened 7 years ago. Leona is now speaking out. What happened to him and Chrissy happened 7 years ago. He decided to then speak out. The thing with this post, it really did feel like somebody who's hurt. He's repeated on numerous occasions. He's repeated so many times that you wore my dress. Like, why? Which is a very good question. Like, if you continuously tag me, wear my dresses, and your people are coming to me to design for you, then surely you weren't really that hurt. Do you get what I mean? It's a bit of a kick in the teeth, I think. But guys, there you have it. They are going back and forth. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like more people are gonna come out and speak against Michael. And if that's the case, that's when I kind of switch off, because I'm like, why didn't you speak out? But then I do get it. People build courage when someone else speaks out, and it only takes one person to speak out, you know, to open the can of worms, and then it all spills out. I do get it, but I don't like it when people do that. It's like you're basically just jumping on this bandwagon, you know. I mean, there might be truth to it, of course, but that's all I'm saying. It's getting crazy, guys, seriously. But thank you for tuning in, and thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to you guys in my next video.
Don't forget to hit your notification bell so that you guys are notified whenever I post.